Okay, on Sunday, so nothing really special, simply monitor some conclusion by the IMF. So,
Okay.
On Monday, I will monitor the German Bundesbank monthly report. Then I will monitor the OZ monetary policy meeting minutes.
Okay, Haskell.
And sorry?
We've got Haskell here.
Oh yeah, Haskell, sorry. Due to participate in a panel discussion, no, not important.
Okay.
So
and no ticks? Not this time.
No tick.
No. Okay. Scrolling down.
Tuesday. On Tuesday, we have I will monitor for the pound the average earnings index 3 months over year, and a bit bullish.
Yeah, last week was pretty unusual in that there was very, very little news. It's like sitting on your hands all week. Monitor.
Yeah.
Bullish. Cool.
Yeah, they were waiting for the decision of the European Union to see if they would agree with a delay for the Brexit. So then we have the Euro-German view economic sentiment, major bullish, and the Euro view economic sentiment, major and bullish too. We have the CAD manufacturing sales month over month, major to be defined. Then we have the Kiwi GDT price index, major higher time frames to be defined.
Sure.
Then we have indeed the CPI quarter over quarter, major higher time frames bullish. We have indeed the yen trade balance, major higher time frames bearish. And I will monitor the Chinese GDP quarter over year and neutral.
Okay. And there's the rest of China.
Yeah, but they are less important. Those are less important. And that's it for Tuesday. Wednesday. On Wednesday, we have the Euro current account, major higher time frame bearish.
Okay.
Then we have the pound CPI year over year. Normally, we don't need to follow it, but in the present context, I will simply monitor it. Not major, but monitor, and a bit bullish.
Yeah, last time it jumped about 40 to 80 pips. So when it came out, or 2 months ago. 2 months ago.
I will monitor also the PPI inputs month over month. So monitor and bearish. And of course, consequently, I will also monitor the core CPI year over year and a bit bullish. And the PPI output month over month and also a bit bullish.
Okay.
This will give a sense on how the economy really is going in this context of the Brexit. So, and then we will have the Euro trade balance, major higher time frames neutral.
Hang on, let me scroll down. Okay, so we're up here.
Yeah.
Neutral.
Euro neutral, yes. Then monitor the OPEC meetings.
Yep.
Monitor the German 30-year bond auction.
Yep.
Then we have the CAD CPI month over month, major higher time frames to be defined. The CAD trade balance, major higher time frame to be defined. And then we have at the end of the day also the CAD core CPI month over month, major higher time frames to be defined. And the US dollar trade balance, major higher time frames a bit bearish. Then we have Carney speaking.
Yep.
Due to speak at the Network of Growing the Financial System Conference in Paris, so not important at all. We have to monitor the crude oil inventories.
Yep.
and then we have a big one with the OZ, it is the OZ non-farm payroll, so the employment change. So major higher time frames bullish, and the unemployment rate also, and bearish.
Ooh. Red one?
No, not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
No, I will not say awake my night for just the non-farm payroll in Australia, so not important enough for me, for the effort.
Okay. And for others, if you live down here in New Zealand land, it's been read before, has it not?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, let's do it, Major. Just for the southern hemisphere, you say.
Okay. Then that's it for Wednesday. So Thursday, we have the Swiss trade balance, major higher time frames, and bearish. Then we have let's see, the pound retail sales month over month, major bearish. Then we have the CAD core retail sales month over month, major to be defined.
Not the conditions?
No.
Okay.
And we have, so the core retail sales month over month, and the retail sales, so the core retail sales and the retail sales month over month, and both to be, so major and both to be defined.
Oh, okay, thanks.
No, it is not K because it is not a pound, Chris. It is
okay.
It is the CAD.
Yep. Okay, so sorry, I thought you'd said £2 things.
No, it was the CAD. The CAD. The pound retail sales is to be defined, of course.
Okay.
No. The pound retail sales is bearish.
Yes.
And then the two CADs, core retail sales and retail sales month over month, to be defined, and you can take out the term care.
Settle. Okay.
Yeah. And then we have a big one. So the CAD, no, it's not a very big one. The CAD ADP, for the CAD, the ADP non-farm payroll is not important at all. The US dollar core retail sales month over month, major bullish. And the US dollar retail sales month over month, major bullish.
Hang on. Just opened up another spreadsheet. Okay.
And then we have the US dollar Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, so major and bearish. And then if you want to scroll down the calendar,
so
we have to monitor the US dollar natural gas storage.
Okay, done.
Yeah. And then bank holiday in New Zealand and in Australia, so good reason to have an ASEAN session even calmer. And Friday is a bank holiday in many countries because of, I think it's Easter.
Yep, Good Friday.
We have nothing special, so nothing.
Does the US not have, what do they call it? Let's say a holiday on Good Friday. Does it still work through?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's just not marked here. So I was asking the people in general, to the United States people, do you observe, is the word, Good Friday? Is Good Friday observed in the States?
Chris, a lot of people will observe it, but most businesses will remain open.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I was just thinking that because the Treasury is still pumping out stuff, so, okay. Okay, thanks. Thank you. Cool. The top 10 is pretty poor these days. It's these ones.
Yeah.
It's the top 7 actually. And if I just pull this over a wee bit, you can see that I've been keeping track of the ranges over the weeks. So here's the very latest one. This is today's or yesterday's range, peak, top of the peak, and the ranges are getting smaller and smaller, as you can see. So just to let you know, so what I've done is I've copied these ones here over, plus the Euro Kiwi, which doesn't quite fit, so that we can come up with a list of top 10s that we could possibly trade on a daily basis. So from the top 10s that we've got for the full week, Eusebio will now do a magic trick and align them with the news that's coming out so that we get an idea on what pairs on an individual day to be monitoring.
Yeah, but before that, Chris, let me give just one thought about these average daily range decreasing. So we have always to think why we get smaller and smaller ranges week after week after week. And so what does this mean in reality? In reality, this means that the banks, the big banks, the 12 big banks which control 80% of the Forex, so most probably, and it would be interesting to have more global volumes on the Forex, probably have lower activities in the Forex for several months now. And one reason of this could be, possibly, I may be wrong, of course, but my interpretation is that there is a high probability that these banks are feeling, most probably, and preparing for a possible future important financial crisis. And when this crisis will explode, they do not want to be too much exposed in the market. So, and this is why with lower activity, we have smaller movements. At least this is how I interpret on a longer term period this behavior of daily ranges decreasing. Perhaps the big banks are feeling that the crisis is progressively arriving, and so they want to be less exposed to this crisis, and so they lower their activity in the market. So, but I may be wrong, of course, because this is a personal interpretation.
They didn't do that for the 2008 crash, though, did they?
Yeah, but sorry, Chris, what did you say?
For the global financial, the GFC back in 2008.
Yeah.
I wasn't monitoring the ranges at that time, but I don't think they were getting smaller back then.
Yeah, but 2008 has been a big lesson, and so they learn from that lesson. So.
Yep. And Forex Factory pumped out something the other day which said, here are the 10 biggest banks, and about 7 of them were all Asian, like in China, majority in China, with 1 in Japan, and the rest were just from the West. So really interesting. Yep.
Yeah, indeed. This shows where the economic power is now.
Yeah. Okay, wait till India comes online. Okay, so magic trick time, Eusebio.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so on Monday we have nothing. So
we have nothing, so it will be easy here. So the first choice will be the pound Kiwi or pound Aussie, then the pound CAD, and then the pound Swiss.
Okay.
We can take pound Swiss or pound yen because they are pretty much close together. Pound Swiss or pound yen.
Okay. Yeah. And Tuesday, nothing from Monday. So we've got the pound.
We have so the pound, and pound. Yeah.
The euro.
We have the euro. Okay.
And the CAD.
The CAD. Yeah.
and later that afternoon the Kiwi.
Yeah, the Kiwi, we will take it for the next day. So, okay, so we have here the pound CAD or the euro pound. Pound CAD or euro pound.
Okay. Have I already got that written? No.
Pound CAD or euro pound. Then we can take the pound Kiwi or pound Aussie. And then I'm forced to say the pound Swiss or pound yen. Yeah. So we'll have 6 pairs that day. That's a lot. Yeah.
It's good training, you said. Good going. Okay. Tuesday, we have the Kiwi.
Tuesday. So we have the Kiwi. Okay.
This is for Wednesday. So, yep, and the yen.
And the yen.
And
Okay.
then on Wednesday itself, the euro.
The euro. Okay.
And again, the euro and the CAD.
The CAD, yeah.
And going down a bit, the US.
And the US dollar.
Yep.
Okay. That's it?
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. So in this case, we will have, so again, the pound Kiwi or pound Aussie. Then the pound CAD. And then we will have the pound Swiss or pound yen.
Okay. And at the end of Wednesday for Thursday, we have the Aussie.
The Aussie, yeah.
And then the Swiss.
The Swiss,
Thursday.
yeah.
The pound.
The pound.
And the
Pound.
US.
Pound. The US, yes.
And that's it.
That's it. So we will have the pound Kiwi or pound Aussie.
Yep.
Then we will have the pound Swiss.
Okay.
And then the pound US dollar.
Okay, Friday's a bit interesting because it's Good Friday. So
yeah, so my advice would be not to trade during the European session because we have Switzerland on holidays, Germany on holidays, UK on holidays, part of France on holidays, because not in the entire France, but in a small area of France, it's a Good Friday. In fact, the two areas in France which have been alternatively French and German, so Alsace and Moselle, observe a Good Friday. And it's a bank holiday in these two areas.
okay.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, if you want to trade anyway, if there are movements, so you can consider exactly as Monday.
Okay.
But be extremely cautious. It's better not to trade the European session, so that day.
Yeah, Dan, it was really dead last week. Not much news at all. Okay. Let's do another save. And it's saved. Okay, thanks, Eusebio. Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay, I have to do my incantation. Anything that's marked with a major can influence the pairs news on those particular, any currency that is marked as a major could impact if there's a surprise on that news when it comes out, which means something like an extra 20% or less than 20% of what they're expecting, excuse me, can impact the pairs that have got that currency in it up to the H4 time frame. And if there's an H4 in it, it could also impact on the H4 in the daily time frames if you're a long-term trader. Pairs that have got the euro, the US, and the yen in them are likely to impact all pairs. The pound is a bit ambiguous. It could impact all or just itself. And the smaller pairs like the Aussie, the Swiss, the Kiwi and the CAD, any news coming out on those ones will probably only like to affect their particular pairs. So you don't need to get out of a euro dollar or something like that. So the ones for the ones with the major and ZH4s, don't place any trades 1 hour prior to the news coming out, and get out of them within half an hour beforehand. We're just being careful on this. For standard people and SAM people who have been trading well, you can take a lot of profit off before the news comes out and still stay in the trade. What we're trying to do is protect your account, because what can happen is a lot of volatility possibly could come out as the news appears, spreads widening, stuff like that, and can hit your account, not just your profit, but your account. So you've got to be careful on that. And, okay, yep, yeah, it's kind of a long weekend for most of the world, yeah, agreed. Here in New Zealand, we take Monday off as well. If anybody wanted to know that. Yeah, okay, so I think we've done with the news. If you have any questions, we can come back to it. But just still be careful about the pound. I'm still marking it with care on some of the items that may not even be marked as majors or H4s, because when the news comes out, it hasn't been happening so much lately, but when the news comes out, it has, over the past couple of months, been spiking 40 to 80 pips, just because, and especially when they have their little meetings and somebody comes out and says, no, I'm not doing that, or yes, we're going to do this, then it will also spike. So be super careful when you're trading the pound.